Hey there everybody, Ben with Sauna Marketplace. Thanks for tuning in to part 2 of our Thermory barrel build video. If you haven't seen part 1, go ahead and click the link here, check it out. We go over a bunch of really important information specifically about the foundation and unboxing of your sauna. And then in this video, we're going to do the entire exterior construction all the way up to the finishing staves, along with one very, very important warning. So please stay tuned for that. Let's dive right in. Once your center stave is in place, check for square one more time on the cradles and then secure using the included S1 screws. You're going to add 7 more staves to either side of this center stave using the same screws, and make sure to use your rubber mallet to seat everything correctly. Make sure that there are no gaps in between each stave. Okay, so I kind of jumped ahead a little bit here just because I was battling rain and filming and trying to build this thing all at the same time. But never fear, I'm going to walk you through all of the steps that it took to get the sauna to the place that you see here. So we found center on the very top stave of the back wall and then used a T-square to transfer that line down to the bottom stave. After measuring center on the very first stave that we installed, the ones with the holes, we lined up the lines and that gave us a perfectly centered back wall. Once we had that back wall centered, we were able to secure it from the bottom with 2 S4 screws to keep it in place. Once you're done with your back wall, you're going to move on to your front wall, aka your door panel. What we did on this one was measure 2.5 inches off of either outside stave, and once it's seated correctly, you're going to secure it from the bottom with 2 S4 screws. Once your door is installed, you're going to move on to the side front wall panels. These are part F in the instruction manual. They're going to slide into place in the channel and be secured with S4 screws. The sidewall panels are pre-drilled and countersunk, so it's really easy to tell exactly where these S4 screws are meant to go. You want to make sure that the vent is located on the left side of your door if you're looking at the sauna. And you're going to use 2 staves to help secure this in place while building up the wall. We just lined it up with the top of the top back wall stave and then measured level and a little bit out of level. Not bad. Now that your vertical walls are in place using your temporary staves, you can continue to build up the barrel. Use S2 screws all the way up to the halfway point, and don't forget to use your rubber mallet. It is the single greatest tool on ensuring that there are no gaps between each stave. Once you get to the point of where you can't fit any more staves between your temporary brace and the wall that you're building, you're going to simply loosen that temporary stave, drop it into place, make sure that it's properly seated using your rubber mallet, and then re-secure with S2 screws. Hey! Moving on to your back window, you're going to want to grab an extra set of hands.
Yeah.
Together, after making sure that it is centered and plumb.
Bring it back. Oh, right there's beautiful. There you go.
You're going to secure using S4 screws in the pre-drilled holes down at the bottom two corners of the panel.
Here to get it, so you can go. Beautiful. All right, so
Once you have your back window secured, you're going to install two temporary braces using staves from your shipment, much in the same way that we did earlier in the build. The biggest thing here is just making sure that they're relatively centered on the arc of your barrel and that they're level from front to back.
all right, so this is by far the most important tiny detail of the entire build. Is right here, you're gonna start using two different fasteners. We've got S3, which is gonna go on the glass side, and they're short enough so that you don't puncture the glass and crack it. And then your S2 screws, which you've been using for the bottom staves, you're gonna use on the front. So, don't mess that up. They're pretty close in size. They're two different size bits. The S3 is a T25 and the S2 is a T20. So that could have been Thermory making an effort to say, pay attention to which fasteners you're putting in. So just remember, long screw, door side, short screw, window side. If you don't have the panoramic window, you probably don't even have these screws. I bet it's just all gonna be S2 screws because there's nothing to crack. So that's your warning.
By now, I'm sure you're starting to get how the whole process works. Just make sure that you continue to use your left and right staves all the way up to your temporary brace, and then be double sure that you're using S3 screws for the back if you have the panoramic window. Once you get down to just over 2 staves width on top, you're going to use your finishing staves, the ones with the squared off ends, and the included spacers that came with your shipment. I like to leave everything unfastened until it's all into place, ensuring a really tight fit. Once you put your finishing staves down, you might have to mess around with the spacers a couple times to find the perfect fit. Whether it's one wide one and 2 narrow ones, or 2 wide ones and 1 narrow one. It just takes a little bit of trial and error, but we're confident you'll be able to figure it out. Secure with S2 screws and install the interior ceiling trim to cover the spacers, and the structure of your barrel is done. We hope that you enjoyed part 2 of our Thermory barrel build. Check out part 3 where we'll go over the rain jacket, exterior trim, finishing off the interior, basically giving you everything you need to take your build across the finish line. Please like and subscribe for more videos, and check out saunamarketplace.com to talk to real experts who have really built these. Again, this is Ben with Sauna Marketplace. Until next time.